Hello friends and viewers of Anahita TV. Thank you so much for joining me again. Today I want to talk about the state of flow. Many years ago, I was in a state of flow and I was able to create abundance, but as an empath, I feel that I attracted a lot of people who are drained. So for many years, as an empath, I lend my energy to them and helped the people around me achieve what they needed to achieve, not focusing on who I was and what I needed to give back to the community. And what happens when we're in a relationship or a continuous relationship with someone who's always draining us, it actually limits us from giving back to ourselves as well as those who are deserving. Not to say that there is one human being less deserving than the other. What happens is that as empaths, we put ourselves in situations that is not healthy, that is draining, and it cannot be efficient long term, and it actually creates independence in the other party. So it's you know, as an empath, I feel like we are often martyrs. We feel like we have to get back and save every individual. And what happens is when you feel like that, I want to talk about how that's actually not beneficial long term. Because when we do that, that person starts depending on us for all their needs. And what happens is that they become unable to achieve their needs on their own, and because they're so reliant on you. And usually that's a very codependent relationship. And I find, I find a lot of paths do this. I have a lot of friends who are paths, and finding men and connected, we help each other. We're in a small group of athletes who help each other and give each other guidance so that we don't end up in those relationships again or in those, and we give each other the language. And I'm so blessed right now. I just want to share. I just had such a wonderful day. These gorgeous men just internally and externally, and all they want to do is love and be loved and give love. And this is it. You know, after the July 3rd, that full moon that we just had, that was a wonderful full moon. That full moon is you gotta understand what's happening. It is a chance for us to forgive ourselves, to forgive others. This is crooked. To forgive others, forgive ourselves, and basically let go of the past. Letting go is the most amazing thing that you guys can ever do for yourself, and it can be emotional. I'm not telling you to get rid of things quickly or fast, or you have to be loving and gentle with yourself. And I had to also learn that the hard way. I was always wondering why other people are able to achieve what they're able to achieve, and I felt left behind, even though I thought, okay, more education. So I went to school. I got a undergrad, and then I went to master's, and then I went to another master's. I kept thinking I need to keep learning, and I love the things that I've learned. I loved what I've been through. I studied psychology, I studied art, I studied history, I studied writing, and right now I feel like I'm just in love with the world. I just want to learn even more. I feel like I've barely touched the surface, but I am in a place where I can give back on a larger scale, which means I'm looking into writing books, looking into sharing more on this channel. So tune in every week. I want to do weekly videos, or even more when I get a chance, so that I can teach you what I've learned, what's made me become less susceptible to people who drain our energy. I recently had a chakra reading. It was amazing. This woman that only for $90. It was a chakra reading. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. She's a clairvoyant. She is a seer, and but she doesn't believe in fortune telling. She doesn't like telling the future. Even when she sees it, she doesn't tell you, because she believes life should be experienced firsthand. And I believe it, because I had this psychic about 3 or 4 years ago, told me a few things about my life. And now it's not exciting because it's happening exactly as she said. And it's kind of odd that she was such a good seer. I mean, wow, kudos to her. But then I kind of regret knowing, because I wrote it down and I read it every day. It was amazing. Who's to say that I didn't turn it into, manifest it, because I read it, all the time. And it was just like she painted a beautiful picture. The timelines were wrong because the pandemic happened. So when she told me a year from now, 2 years from now, it turned out to be 3 or 4 years from now, from the time she said, because for 2 years we were in the pandemic. So that was an unnatural, coincidental situation that happened. That was not supposed to be in our timeline as human beings. So that was obviously a surprise for many people. So my point is this, life should be a flow and life should be a surprise. And how do we get into the flow? How do we get into accepting what comes in and not be nervous about it? And I think that's what it is. We're so nervous of the unknown. It's because we have lost touch with our intuition. I'm an intuitive healer, and that's why I want to teach you. I want to be on here more often and help you get through your fears of the everyday and anxiety. One of the most common things after the pandemic is anxiety. So many young kids, so many teenagers, even adults are anxious and they take medication. Well, anxiety is basically anticipation of the worst. We anticipate the worst in any given situation. And that's not healthy long term, because when we are anxious, we put our bodies in a fight or flight situation. And when your body needs to rest, and even when we sleep, I know so many people who can't sleep, including myself. I had a hard time sleeping. And finally, I have been sleeping better. Why? Because I'm learning to trust more, and I'm learning to be in the flow more. And so I make everything about meditation. Meditation doesn't mean you just sit in a corner and meditate. If you have the time and the ability, I know it's very difficult for a lot of people who have never done meditation. And that's one of the things I teach. I teach meditation. I can teach online via Zoom. If you're interested, please let me know. And this meditation that I do is so powerful that it will help you manifest anything. When I was really ill, I used to do that meditation, half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening. No matter what, I did it. Even if there was a party or even if there was an event, I would get up earlier to do the meditation. And it helped me overcome a really deadly illness. And that's why I'm here. And it made me realize I am this intuitive healer, and I was saved, and I was able to save myself. And I want to teach that to you guys. I grew up, I grew up in US, but I was born in Iran, and I was born to a family that is from originally western parts of the Iran, in the mountain area. So my great-grandparents grew up in the mountains, and they know a lot about nature, and they passed that on. I feel like etherically, they passed it on, because, and also I've had many conversations with both my grandparents, my grandmothers. Unfortunately, I lost both grandfathers before I was born, but I was, I think, 3 months when I lost my maternal grandfather, God forbid. But I only have one left. I only have my maternal grandmother because she was very young when she married. So, and my mom was very young when she married and had me. So she's still around, thank God. And I hope to see that she sticks around for a long time. And I was also able to meet both my great grandmothers. And when I was a kid in Iran, I had many conversations with them. And what I learned as a woman was to rely on nature for most things and rely on spirituality. It was, in my culture, it was unspoken. In my family, it was kind of like unspoken. We kind of all knew that we relied on food from nature. We relied on medicine from herbs. We relied on tinctures and this folklore background, folklore knowledge that was destroyed in the, during the mass killings of, everyone was called a witch. They weren't witches. Most of those women were basically practicing their knowledge of nature. And when they were doing knowledge of nature and creating medicines from herbs and tinctures from just things out in nature, they were deemed a witch, and they were stoned and killed. And the Spanish Inquisition kind of killed a lot of beautiful women with good hearts. These were women who were helping other women give birth at home. And so now the birthing situation has become a medical procedure. Do you see the animal kingdom or lions, lion hospitals for lions to give birth? No, you don't. We're part of that animal kingdom. And we need to remember this. We need to remember that we are part of this society and part of nature. You are one with the ocean. You are one when you understand that your body is 70 to 80% water. Do you not believe that when toxins are taking place in the ocean, doesn't that mean it's taking place in your body? Because that ocean, we're all one. Like, how can you separate yourself from the ocean? The ocean evaporates, turns into rain, and it comes down and it hits us in the face. It goes onto our greens, our vegetables, and then we eat it. You are one. So why are we polluting our oceans and rivers? Why are we doing things that are inhumane to other animals? These are deviations from the norm. So I want to teach you how to become more connected. Next time you're about to kill a roach, why don't you just put a glass over it with, a little cardboard and take it outside, or any kind of pest that's in your house, just don't kill it. That's the first step to becoming one. You wouldn't want, if dinosaurs were around, would it be fair if they just came and stomped on my kid or your kid? That would be horrible. That would be horrible. So why do we do it? Why do we do it to these little critters in our house or around our house? Of course we want to keep our house clean, and there's, mosquitoes are known to be dirty, but most are roaches, and so we don't want them in our house. So keep your houses clean so they don't come in. But if they find a hole somewhere and they come in, try to just get them out of your house without killing them. That's one step. I went to Vipassana. It's called Vipassana. That's how they pronounce it. Vipassana meditation for 10 days, which isn't that long. They have them for 20, 30, and 40 days. And basically it was 12 days because there was 1 day in, 1 day out, and then 10 days between where we meditated 8 hours a day. And one of the rules was that we were not allowed to kill any other creatures, including mosquitoes or spiders. And we just, there were, in every room, there were these little glass jars with boards that you could just, take it and throw it out. And I had to do that a couple times. I had spiders, I was out in the woods near San Francisco, so I had to do that. And, it was the most blissful moment of my life. On the 9th day, we went out and there was a moon. Even when I remember it, I'm so calmed by it. We were supposed to go out and look at the moon, and it just opened my heart, and my vibration was so high that I have yet to achieve that again, unless I go back to Vipassana and continue those habits. With that being said, I just went on a rampage about flow and how to put that in. These are just slow introductions into the things I'm going to talk about on this channel. If you're interested and if you'd like to continue the conversation, please email me. My email is going to be in the comments below. And also, if you have any questions, please comment. I love to see the conversation. I love to see your thoughts and your knowledge in this realm. I'm always learning, and I'm open to conversation. And if you have suggestions for next videos, please let me know. Thank you, and may you all be blessed.